Hello, everyone. This is Patti Behan here at Ranger Headquarters in Tinton Falls, New Jersey on a rainy day. We're just waiting for everybody to come. And it's lunchtime here, so that's why you hear the school bell. And as you join us, let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Oh, hi, Jess. How are you today? Hi, Adrian and Tana. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. And let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, I want to let you know that we're live both on YouTube and Facebook. So any questions that get asked, I'll try to say the question and give you the answer. And if you're like, where did that question come from? That's going to be your answer. So as people are signing on, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and my journey in this wonderful world of crafting. So I've been a crafter like my whole entire life, and I like always wanted to be an artist when I was younger. And so I first started crafting. I did scrapbooking, and I saw embossing powder um, at the mall. They did a demo, and I was like blown away, and then I was hooked. As that's kind of apropos to what we're doing today. We're working with some embossing powder, and then so um, after I had my children, I was a stay-at-home mom for a little bit, and I had this bright idea to open a scrapbook store with my sister. I kind of dragged her into it. And so we had a store since in 2000, and so I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I've worked in every aspect you can think of. So we had our store that was a few years, and then after that, when our store closed, I became a sales rep. And at one of the companies I repped for was Ranger, and that's how I ended up here. I started working in customer service, and then used to come at lunchtime in the art department and do crafts, and eventually ended up working back here in the art department. And I've been here for 19 years, and I love my job. And so let me see who's joining us. Also, I want to tell you to keep chatting away, because we're going to give a giveaway, one for the people on YouTube and one for the people on Facebook. And we're just going to pick them randomly from the comments. Okay, so what we're going to do today, let me turn over the camera, and I'm going to show you what I have here. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to be making these two tags, and we're going to be using some mixed media powder and scribble sticks. And to begin, we're going to start with this tag here. And all the supplies we're using today, Asia's here with me. She's my partner in crime, and she's going to be, she put the link to the supply list into the chat. So let me just tell you about the mixed media powder. So it comes in 8 colors, as you can see here. And the fun thing about this, and Oops, let me see if the camera will, my camera is not in focus. I shouldn't have put it that close. Hopefully it'll get back in focus. Okay, so I won't bring it close. You'll just have to trust what I tell you. So the thing about the mixed media powder, they're all solid colored powders. They're opaque, and each one has like a black fleck in it. And then in addition to the black, there are metallic little flecks. And each one is different. The punch has silver metallic, and then scarlet has gold, fire has gold, the sea has silver, the lime has silver, lilac silver, and the bone just has like the black and a little bit of gold. And then hammered, I think this is my favorite color, has a really dark brown powder, and then there's like a bronze color. And so just to show you what those look like. And we're also going to be working with Scribble sticks, and I'm going to show you how to use these together. And so let me get this out of the way. I was going to show you the jar, but I think my camera's going to freeze. I was going to open it, but I don't think you'll get to see it. So let me move these out of the way. And I'm going to get a new tag here. These are Dina Wakley Media white tags. They're 300 GSM, so they're a nice thick cardstock, and they take wet or dry media really well. And they come in different sizes. This is a number 8, and they come in 5s and 10s, and I want to say 3s. And then we have square ones in different sizes as well. And to begin, I'm going to do our background first with the Scribble sticks. And I'm using this Dina Wakley Media stencil. It is dotted tape. And so, and I'm using the first set of Scribble sticks that Dina had. There's 3 regular sets of Scribble sticks, and then there's 1 neon set that's really fun. It's like a compact, fun case. And so to begin, we're going to make our background because Scribble sticks, we're going to be doing layering, and the Scribble sticks are your bottom layer. And I'm just going to wait for my camera to get back in focus again. I guess I have to be careful how much I move around. It's not liking all the motion. Okay. All right. So to begin, I'm going to show you how to use with the stencil. And I'm also using the mini blending, the tiny blending tools by Tim Holtz. And I'm going to be using fuchsia first. And you can, if you wanted to, just scribble through the stencil, but I'm going to show you a different way where you get like a pastel-y kind of look. So what you want to do, I have a cup of water. And I'm waiting for it to come back in focus. So sorry about that. Okay. All right. And so I dip the Scribble stick in the water, and I'm just making a puddle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the blending tool into the Scribble stick. I'm making like a little paint, and I'm going to just randomly put this through the stencil. And I'm going to do a couple colors, so I'm just going to just randomly go through. And I'm just dabbing it. Okay, And then next, I'm going to take lemon. And I have to do this very slow because I'm afraid I'm going to make the camera go. And then I'm scribbling it on my nonstick craft sheet. Edie's asking, curious here, are the Scribble Sticks watercolor pencils or are they different? Different other than being smaller and it being just pigment. These are watercolor pencils. Sorry, my camera keeps going. I'll answer this question. They are bigger and there's more pigment in these, but you can use them like the watercolor pencils. Okay, and they're just thicker. So I'm going to go ahead. I have another blending tool here, and I'm just going to dab my tool through the stencil. And then we're going to just put that aside, and then we have our background. And it's just a background. We don't want it perfect because we're going to cover it up. And next, I want to wait, since we're going to emboss next, I want to make sure this is dry. So I'm using our Ranger heated craft tool. And this is great for drying your projects in between if you're impatient. And also, since we're using this the mixed media powder today, the large granules in here, I'll open my embossing powders up while we're waiting for it to focus. I have to be very careful how I move. Okay. So I'm going to be using lilac and punch for this. And also I have, so when applying this embossing powder, it's the same as any other embossing powder. You can use an embossing pad or an embossing pen. And in this case, we're going to be using the Letter It medium pen. And I'm going to draw a little doodle of the flower in the corner here. And it's just like a scribbly, fun little flower. We don't want it to be perfect. Okay, and let me go down one at the bottom. I see people are commenting they love the colors. Yeah, they're so bright and fun. Okay, so we have our two little scribbly flowers. And then I'm going to go over it with the Perfect Medium pen. I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper, since we're going to emboss. I want something to catch the embossing powder when I'm ready to use it. So first I'm going to do the petals. And I made my pencil lines really dark, and it's so that you guys could see, but you might, when you do this, either you could just use the pen, but it's a little hard to see, or just do a light line. Okay, so I'm going to do this flower in lilac, and these pens stay wet pretty long. Oh, and another thing, before you use this powder, you want to shake it up to get the granules to distributed. But I'm not going to do that because we're going to go out of focus. Okay, and then I'm going to, before I emboss that, I'm going to go ahead and make my petals down here. Is there anyone that's used this embossing powder before? I don't see anybody. Oh, thank you, Delana. I hope I'm saying that right. She said the tag already looks so sweet. Thank you. Let me put that there, and I'm going to move this over to put, I'm going to return the powder back into the jar, but I'm not going to do it on camera. Okay, and now we're going to melt it with our heated tool. And you can see how quiet this is. You don't want to use a regular embossing tool with this, because with the bigger particles in this embossing powder, there's a tendency that they might fly off before the particles melt. And this, you'll know that it's done when it starts to get a little bit shiny. Oops, sorry. We're going to have to figure out why this keeps going out of focus so easily. Okay, I think I'm back. Oh, okay, I'm glad I said your name right. I know, I love watching the powder melt. Like I said, this is what got me hooked into card making. I can remember my kids, I have twin boys, and for their first birthday, I remember making a Mickey Mouse birthday invitation, and I embossed it. I embossed all the invitations. Okay, so now that's melted, and you can, and I wish I could bring this up closer, but it has the little flecks of the silver shining through. And now we're going to do the middle of the flower, and we're going to take our pen again, and I just want to wait till this is a little cooled down a little bit. I'm touching the back to see, because I don't want to put my finger in there because you might get burnt.
Virginia wants to know what embossing pens are used.
Happen to be, you can use any kind of embossing pen with this, but I happen to be using the Letter It medium pen. This is a pen that you could use with Perfect Pearls as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw the center, and I'm going to do the same thing, like kind of scribble scrabble the center. Excuse me. Oh, embossing is what hooked you too, Ruth. Oh, and Pam said the embossing pens are sold out. Any idea when they'll be back in stock? Unfortunately, I don't know that, but you can use the letter. We do have the Letter It pens. Okay, let's get my paper. And this jar has, this powder has really big crystals in it of the other. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, and this didn't come out as scribbly as I wanted it to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like take away some of the powder just to give it a fun look. And trust me on this, that I'm doing that. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and emboss this and melt it. And another thing I didn't mention is that the way the heat that comes out of this is it's diffuse, so it comes out in like a fan, it, and you have to find the sweet spot. And this heat tool comes in. We have different plugs. If you're watching internationally, we have a UK version and a Euro version. Okay, so now we have that. And also, the way you can use this embossing powder is with a stamp. And I feel like the Dina stamps are really great for this because it has like solid and then thick, bold lines. You don't want to use this powder with a thin line stamp because you're just not going to get those large crystals. So what I did, or I did this ahead of time, is I stamped with an embossing ink pad with clear embossing, and I used the lime powder this time, and then I just cut them out. And again, I made my other flower. I did it ahead of time. It's the same technique. I drew it and then I just cut it out. And this time I reversed the color scheme. And so the next thing that we want to do for this tag is we're going to stamp the words. And to do that, I'm using jet black archival ink. And the stamp set I'm using is Stencil Alphas. Okay, and I'm using the Live, Create, Tell, Repeat. And guess what? I think I forgot to bring a stamp block with me. So I'm going to tell you a little trick. You can use the lid of your ink pad as your stamp block. Okay. Asia went and got me a block, but I'll use that for the next time I stamp. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Perfect. See? Problem solved. Okay. And now I'm going to cut this out. But you know what? I think I might have Asia cut this out for me because I'm afraid my camera is going to go bonkers. So I'm going to have her, what I'm going to do is have her cut the words out, individually. And then we're going to start to put this together. And to put this together, I'm just going to cut them out in a block. Oh, everybody's liking my my little tip for the ink pad if you don't have a stamp block. Okay, and so now I'm going to start gluing this down. I'm using, I see my camera is out of focus again. I'm using Dina Wakley Media Ultra Thick Gel Medium to glue these pieces down because this cardstock's kind of heavy. So I'm going to use a palette knife because I have to admit I really don't like sticking my fingers in the glue. I'm going to try to keep my hands clean. So I'm putting just a thin layer. And I'll put it just like so. And then we have our little we'll do that. Let's see. Put one here. One over here. Put that. Just a fun tag that you could do. And then I'll put one over here. You always want to work in odd numbers. That's why I did 3 and 3. And then my words are ready. I'll put those on. Virginia from YouTube says, I missed the beginning. What part of the tag is using the scribble sticks? It is the background. I did a little bit of stenciling. And on the next tag, I'm going to show you again. We're going to use the scribble sticks a little differently too on the next tag. Live, create. Put this here. Oops, I almost glued on my inked words. Yes, there will be a replay of this. So, and it's on, and again, it's both on Facebook and YouTube today. We're doing simultaneously. And for those who joined us late, we are going to pick a two random winners for a gift card to rangerink.com, a $50 gift card. So keep chatting, and then we're going to pick one from YouTube watchers and one from Facebook watchers. Okay, so we have repeat. Okay. And then now I have some sorry ribbon, and I'm going to decorate the ribbon with the scribble sticks. And to do that, I'm going to dip it in the water, and I'll try to be gentle so I don't put the camera out of focus. I'll go slow. It's good for me that I'm kind of a slow crafter anyway. Oh, somebody found us by the text message we sent. Yes, I don't know if everybody knows, but we have, you have to sign up for our text messaging on our website so that you get to know all the sales and like when we're going to go live and a lot of good stuff. And you can sign up there on our website. So what I'm doing is I'm just okay. I have a question. What glue
would you recommend as the best for this project?
Okay. What glue would you recommend is the best for this project? So I'm using the ultra thick gel medium because I happen to be using these tags, which is a heavier cardstock. It's like 300 GSM. It's not like, it is 300 GSM cardstock. But, and then the great thing about the Ultra Thick Gel Medium by Dina Wakley is that it takes a second to dry, so that if you want to move things around, you still have that freedom to do that. But you can use pretty much any kind of wet adhesive. You can use a tape runner if you want, but it's not going to be as, you know, if you're using a lot of wet with a tape runner, that might not be a good idea. So that's why you want to use like a wet glue. Okay, and so I have our dyed ribbon. And I'm just gonna, I fold it in half and I'm putting it through to the front. Oops, my thing. And then I'll put the tails through the loop. Okay. And the next thing, and you can trim these if you like. The next thing, it wouldn't be a Dina Wakley tag without little splatters, and she calls them pocks. So again, you take your scribble stick and you want to get a nice amount of color here. And I'm using fuchsia and yellow and lemon again, for those who didn't hear it the first time. And I'm going to take, you can do it the same procedure with the scribble stick, but since my camera is kind of going out of focus so easily, and I really have to shake it to get the pocks, I'm using a brush. I'm getting it wet because you want it really juicy to get your little pocks. And then you just tap it, and you just do it randomly. And I like to use the same colors that I used throughout the tag. I'll rinse off my brush. I'll get some of the yellow now. And again, just flick it. I like to see the white scribble stick used on black cardstock or some swatches. If Asia gets me some black cardstock, we could do that for you. Okay. So now we're done. And see this, nothing goes to waste. I'm going to take up this extra and finish off my ribbon here to get some more color on it. And now our first tag is done. Okay, let me just wipe this up. Okay, I have my black cardstock. This is, I think this is the Distress Heavy Stock black cardstock. Okay, and here's the white scribble stick. Oh, thank you, SS on YouTube. That's a great reminder. If you like this video, you're on YouTube or on Facebook, please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe. So here is the white crayon, scribble stick, I should say. It's not crayon, sorry. And so that's wet. And then, let me see, dry. And this is dry. Okay. Oh, can you post a supply list link again? Yes, just did. Thanks. Okay, so here's your. I wish I could bring it closer, but I'm afraid that my camera's gonna go on. Okay, all right, I'll try. I'll go very slow. Oh, there you can see. So the top is wet and the bottom is dry. Okay, you just gotta go really, really slow. All right. Oh, that's a great idea. Virginia says she's on YouTube. She has her first book club meeting in the neighborhood soon. I think I'm going to make bookmarks with these techniques. Oh, wow, that's a great idea. These would make awesome bookmarks. Okay, so we have our first tag. And then now we're going to get crack in on our next tag, which is a little more scribble stick heavy. The first one I wanted to show you more about the powders, and this one we're going to stamp with scribble sticks and color with scribble sticks. And let me get my supplies for that one. I already embossed with the hammered mixed media powder, and I'll show you what it looks like over here. And then again, this is from the Healing and Light stamp set. This is where I got the dots from the other tag. Okay, so we are going to need the word stamp here and the dots again. And let's paint our little leaf branch here first. And again, we're going to paint with the scribble sticks. And for this, I am going to use Night scribble stick. This is a great set. It had like all the colors that matches these powders. And then I'm like, if you haven't noticed, I'm like very matchy. I tend to be monochromatic more than anything, and I'm using Peacock, and then a little bit of olive. Okay, so these are the colors that we're going to be using for this. And to paint with the scribble sticks, now you can, again, you dip your stick to get it activated, and then you can just go right straight on like so. And I'm going to do that for my first layer here. And I like the watercolory look, so that's why I'm just going wet to begin with. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna add a little blue, and then I'm just going. This one I wanted to just color it in just to show you, but I personally like to use them wet. And I'm just using just a little. And then you can take your paintbrush and you can paint in like so. And you can also like put it on your craft sheet. You can scribble on your craft sheet and paint with these. And then next I'm going to take the olive. Oh, only one of the Healing and Light remaining. Oh, you know, it probably has to be refilled. We have lots of these in stock. In our e-com system, we can only fit so much into our machines that we have, and so we have extra inventory in the warehouse. Okay, so look how nicely these colors go together. Again, I'm using the olive, and I have this really wet here. I'm just going to soak up. That's an old trick. If you have too much water, you just take your brush and you soak it up. This way it'll dry faster. Just like so. Okay. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry. So now you see how you can paint with them. And again, I for that, I cut it out of the mixed media tag because I love how the tag takes water. And I'm looking for my empty tag. So again, we're going to be dyeing our ribbon. So I'm going to take, we're putting a ribbon on this one too. And I'm going to find my ribbon. Here it is. And I'm going to do a little cleanup with the ribbon, like so. Okay, so I have another question from Meredith on YouTube. If something on your website shows up out of stock for 3 days, does that mean it's really out of stock, or should I keep checking to see if it gets restocked, please? That's a good question. I'm not sure how often they restock, but 3 days might not be so long. Maybe I can have Asia text our web person if they're around to see if they can answer that. We'll see if we can get an answer. Okay, so I'm not really done dyeing this tag, this ribbon, but we'll come back to that later. Okay, so now we're going to work on the background, and I'm going to show you how to stamp with scribble sticks. So Asia kindly went and got me a stamp block. If you joined us before, I forgot to put that on my supplies here. It's funny because like your stamp block, you always forget about that, and it's like the most used thing, and at least I always forget about it. Okay, so again, you want to wet your ooh, this is really wet. Maybe I didn't want it that wet, but that's okay. It's just going to be watercolory. So you're just going to scribble on your stamp, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it over here like so. Okay, and then you get that nice watercolory image. And I'm going to clean this with my with the ribbon again. By the end, we'll have a nice little piece. Okay, and then now I'm using the words, and again, just in case, I'm using the Healing and Light stamp set. And then I'm going to color this in with Night. And this time I'm not going to get it so wet, or try not to. And I'm going to scribble over top. Okay, now this time it's like drier. Let's see. And it's just a background. And then I'm going to stamp it on top. And then you just get that. So at the top, it was more wet. At the bottom, it's a little more dry. And so however you want to do it. There's no rules. It's a background. It's just meant to add interest. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Okay. Stamp it over here. Like so. Clean the stamp up a little bit with our ribbon. Yeah, Catherine from YouTube says, love that you can scribble directly on the stamp and it comes out so well. Yeah, it's really a great technique. There's so many ways that you can use your scribble sticks. Okay, and so I want to dry this, and I didn't forgot to stamp down here at the bottom. Let me just do that real quick. And Actually, I don't even need to use a block.
Someone is asking, if you wanted to seal this project, what would you recommend as a sealant?
For Millie asked about sealing this project. I wouldn't. I don't think you need to, but if you wanted to, you could put like clear gesso on top of it. You don't really need to seal it unless you're it's just once it dries, it's permanent because we're using pigments. So, but if you did, you could use clear gesso, or you could use gel medium on top of it as well, just a regular gel medium. Okay, so I'm gonna try this with our tool if I don't knock anything over. Because we're gonna add a little embossing powder on the top. I'm glad Virginia from YouTube says she's learning so much. Thank you. I'm glad I can help. I hope you guys give this a try if you have these products, or they're definitely worth considering playing with. Okay, so now we're just gonna add a little bit of grunginess to the tag, and we're gonna go ahead and go back and use our pen for that. I'm just gonna like scribble just a little bit here. Oops. And I'm getting my pigment is still wet, so I'm getting a little of the blue, but that doesn't matter. That's kind of the whole idea of this, is just a background. So I want to put a piece of scrap paper underneath. And so in case you missed the beginning of this, since there's particles in here, we want to shake the powder before we use it. I'm going to do that off screen. And the particle, there's larger particles. There's like a bronze nugget. And then you're going to pour it over top. And then you just get that little bit on the edge there. You can either add as much or as little as you want. Kind of just doing this as a demonstration so that you have an idea what to do with it. And then we're going to heat this until it melts. Yeah, Linda from YouTube is saying, I need to remember to use my embossing pen more often. I know, that's one of those supplies you kind of forget about. I agree. And it's great because like if you're embossing and you miss a spot in your stamp, you can go back in and fill it. And then I'm just waiting until this. Amy from YouTube says, in the olden days, we used a fresh ballpoint pen to emboss with. Only good for the lines, though. Yeah, I can do that. I remember too, people used to use a toaster. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we have our background, and now it's time for some pops, just to add more to it because it looks kind of bare. And I'm just gonna get all of these colors on here. Start with the blue. This is night. And even just that, like just that little one color brings it all together. Oh, Danielle from YouTube says, I've never have good luck with the pens. They dry out. Maybe I need to try a different kind. Oh, I can vouch really for our pens. They're really juicy. They're, they're really good. We have perfect, you can use the perfect medium pens or the embossing pens. I'm using olive. And then add some peacock. Oh, Harley Chick 62 said this is very inspiring. I need to pull out my embossing powders too and play. Yes, you do. I highly recommend it. You know, Ranger has a vast array of embossing powders. This is just hits the surface. And I think people forget that we have those too. We have all different kinds. We have glitters. We have solids. We have neons. We'll show them to you over the course of time here. Okay, so this ribbon really is getting a good workout here, cleaning up. All right, now we can finish up this tag. Sylvia says I love blue and green together. Yeah, it's a perfect match. Okay, and then we have to stamp Be a Legend. And we're winding down here. I'm going to have Asia start looking for winners, and we'll so I hope you've been very chatty. Those of you who joined us, we're giving away 2 gift cards, one to our YouTube watchers and one to our Facebook watchers for $50 to rangerinc.com. So you can have a nice shopping trip. Okay. And so I saved the leftover of my tag that I used to cut this out so that I can do my stamping. And I'm using Jet Black Archival to stamp. This is a permanent waterproof ink. I'm stamping from let me show you again, the Stencil Alpha set by Dina Wakley. Oops, I just dropped my brush. But I think I was done with it. Okay, look at how beautifully crisp that ink is, and it's so dark. And it's great for stamping over like the paint and alcohol inks. And my scissors, I'll cut this out real quick. Just now waiting for Distress Crackle paint to dry. Tracy. Ooh, I can't wait to see what you're doing with that, Tracy. Shoot. I'm not paying it. I'm trying to read the comments and cut at the same time. And I'm not doing a good job, but that's okay. All right, and now we're ready to glue this together. Here is my thing, and I'm looking for my, oh, you know, it fell my palette knife. All right, the finger's going in. For those who weren't watching me before, I was gluing with the palette knife. Right now I'm making Dina proud. I'm using my fingers. Okay. It's not my favorite thing to do, if I have to be honest. Use my fingers. Oh, Tracy said she's making a frame for a journal cover. Ooh, cool. I hope you'll post that for us. And also, oh, speaking of posting, so if we love to see people using our products. So if you're on um, Instagram or if you post on Facebook, if you tag us, we'd love to see your work and we just might share it. Okay, so I'm gluing that on right there. And this is, I'm using ultra thick gel medium. It takes a second to just dry. And I kind of like that it's like curling up. And then I'm going to glue this down with same thing. And then our tag is done. I'll add our ribbon. Put it through the loop. Fold it in half. Put it from the back to the front, if I could grab it. I love that you use your fingers to apply the ultra thick. Okay, and there you have it. So let me get our other tag that we made today. So I hope that you learned how to use the scribble sticks a little more. There's so many other things you could do with them, but this is like some of the basics. And so I'm ready to announce our winner. So on YouTube, it's Catherine Bley, Bley. I hope I'm saying that right. And if you can
Send us a message.
send us a message with your email and
Full name.
and your full name, and then we'll email you a gift card for $50 for Ranger Ink. And our Facebook winner is Ruth Pierce. Same thing. If you can message us with your email and full name, and we'll send you the gift card. So thanks everyone for joining us today, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to do more YouTube lives. I'm a little camera shy, so it was hard for me to get started doing this, but once I get going, I get more comfortable. Okay, so thanks for joining us, and I hope you join us next time. Bye.